Well, good morning. So, how are you today in this mystery that we live in? I think a lot about undoing. I think a lot about how things are not as solid as we think. And sometimes it takes an emergency, like an earthquake or someone we love being suddenly very, very ill, to bring us to that place of what is really real and what is really important. And that can be really good. And I also hope for you and for all of us that we can get to that place without having to have our whole worlds shaken up by earthquakes or illness. So several years ago there was an earthquake here that was very, very strong. And it shook me up so much that it taught me that nothing is solid, that I don't know what's going to happen the next moment. We don't know. We rely on a certain sense of stability and solidity. I remember when I lived in the States, taking for granted and not even realizing I took for granted things like electricity, heat in the house, until there was an ice storm where I lived one April, and there wasn't electricity in the city for 5 days. And I realized that as alternative as I thought I was dependent on the grid, and I was not prepared. I was freezing. I remember I slept one night in my bathroom because it was small and it had carpeting, and I put water in the tub because I had gas heat, so I could have hot water, and I put little tons of votive candles in the bathtub and all in the bathroom. And I slept there in my sleeping bag for the heat. So that was a great lesson to me in a sense, not relying on things that we rely on. And I don't say that to be negative, but I say it because it's how it is. We're in a very transient universe. So I wanted to share that with you today as I take my walk and remind myself to be in the present moment and not to miss the present moment, because you never know what's going to happen. And I tend to worry a lot. And when something like an earthquake happens or someone gets really sick that we love, like all of that all of a sudden just falls away. And at least for me, I realize how unimportant all of that is and was, and what a waste of life force energy. So my wish for you is that you live this moment fully and wholly, which means the light and the dark all together, which I think is especially scary for us from modern Western culture, where we've been taught only to pay attention or value the light, like light is good and dark is bad, but they all exist. It's one of the things that I love about Mexico is they really embrace the whole of life. Day of Dead, which is at my birthday, is about celebrating the dead, our loved ones, and actually inviting them home to visit. And it's a time of such joy and humor and love and tenderness. And even funerals have marching bands playing super happy, upbeat, full of life music. So life is all of that. So that's my thought for today. I wanted to share it with you. It's not to be morose. It's to be in the present moment and to be with and come to what's really important. What's really important. And so it's a lot about, as I said, about undoing. So we tend to think we're so solid. I am Robin. I'm a coach. I'm an author. I live in Mexico. I'm taking this walk. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to work on my next blog post. But honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. It might happen. Lots of times what I think is going to happen happens in certain ways, but you don't know. And so for me, it's about being with what is as well as I can. And it's crucial if you're wanting to create your most whole, fulfilling life, it requires letting go of certain things, especially a sense of solidity about who you are and what life is and what you thought life is and was, in order to open to something new and something different. So I invite you to be in the moment. Don't worry about the future. Just for this moment, be here now. And if you enjoy this type of reflection, if you're wanting to undo and create space to open to the new and the mystery and the wholeness and the fullness of life as you, the unique you that you are, I invite you to do several things. I invite you to subscribe to my channel so that you'll always know when I have a new reflection for you. Also, I've written a book called Calling Myself Home, Living Simply, Following Your Heart, and What Happens When You Jump. So the link to that memoir of mine is in the link below, and I really invite you to consider that if reflecting on your life and how you're living and how you could live, plus if you like adventure and if you're all for transformation, this is the book for you. So thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.